All right. So welcome to Trackside Tales. We don't
Welcome.
really know what we're doing. We're figuring it out as we go, but we're here to have fun.
All things.
I am Shelby. I'm from Florida. I've been to two races and I've watched F1 for about a year-ish. My first race was Singapore 2023. I watched it with my little brother, and then that was it.
All right. Period. Yay. Okay. My name is Peyton. I'm from Texas, Houston to be specific, H-Town till I drown. Um, I started watching Formula One. This is going to be my third full season this year. So I started watching through GTS. Oops, yeah, I'm a Drive to Survive fan. Awkward. But I started
Me
watching
too,
Drive to Survive.
honestly.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know
my
that.
brother got me into it. Like I watched the race with him, but I watched it with him and then I watched DTS. And
So I
that was
watched
it.
GTS just because I got bored. Like I was just bored one day. I had nothing to do and I put it on. And I watched it in February, which was perfect timing. I watched it in February 2023 and then season started. And so I started at the beginning of the season in 2023,
Yeah.
which was the worst season ever, by the way. So boring.
Hey, I
So
came in on
boring.
the race that Carlos won on. That was my first experience and introduction to the whole thing.
I'm jealous. I'm so jealous. I've been to one race, but Shelby and I have a couple lined up for this year.
Me too. It's gonna be, I'm honestly so excited for the in-person ones. If I'm being honest, I want to go back to the races. Honestly, I think winter break shouldn't exist. They just should keep racing. Let the reserve
That's fair.
drivers race in the off season, you know?
That's fair. Even if like they're just driving for fun, like hello. I personally, I'm gonna be completely honest, and I might get a bit of judgment for this. I like watching from like my phone or like the TV more, just because you can see everything. But I loved the
Yeah.
experience of like being there. Like the experience was incredible. And there's so much adrenaline, like being around so many people like that, that it's worth it. But as far as like the race itself goes,
That was my one thing in like Miami versus Austin is Miami, it's all flat. You know, there's no elevation. In
mhm.
Austin, you can see more of the track, but in like Miami, we were sitting we were sitting right below where the podium is for the whole race. We got there super early. We stayed there. I probably stood in that spot for upwards of like probably almost 8 hours. I was in the same spot.
Oh
And
my God.
we only had like a small spot of track to see. So I couldn't see almost anything,
What was the
which
weather like in Miami for the race?
it was, we never had any rain. It was overcast a little one of the days, but it was pretty sunny for most of the time. It was humid
Like hot?
as hell. I want
Ew.
to say it was 80s just because of that time of year, but you also had the
Ew.
breeze, which was nice. So it kind of counterbalanced it. I'm also from Florida, so like wasn't that big a deal to me. I grew up
Yeah,
outside
we
in the
don't get
heat.
breezes here in Houston. It's just hot.
No, no. I mean, we don't really get breezes here in Central Florida, but like the humidity wise, I was used to it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Monza, it was so hot. It was so hot. Like I thought I was gonna die.
Yeah.
It was
I
brutal.
That's see, Austin was the opposite because in Austin it was cold.
Well, it was
It was
October too.
it was, but the year prior it had been like in the 80s and 90s during the
That's
race.
Texas, girl.
Yeah. Yeah. It was really funny though, like the difference. And I went in and
Mhm.
I was getting there in the morning and because it was gonna be hot in the afternoons, I was gonna be standing in the sun because I was general admission. And I'm dressed in shorts in the morning. I'm sitting there going, it's too
Yeah,
cold.
girl, 3 days ago we were in the 90s and today it's like 38 degrees. It's like 38 degrees right now outside.
It was 80 something a week ago here too. Like it was bad and now it's
Yeah,
in the 60s and next week it's supposed to be in the 30s.
screw
So,
that.
yeah, no, it was not fun.
At all. I do want to go. I really want to go to a night race this year. Like we were talking
I
about Vegas, but
I
Singapore's up there for me. I have to
yes.
get to
I was
Singapore.
gonna say the same thing. My best friend, she loves Japan and she wants to go to Suzuka so badly, and we're trying to do it for 2026. And I also really want to go to Barcelona just because I think this is the last year they're doing it there.
Mhm.
Then they're moving to Madrid, I think it is.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, that's gonna be. Should we plan a trip to Barcelona?
Are we planning a trip
Okay.
to Barcelona? Is that what I'm
Is that
hearing?
what's happening right
Is that what's gonna happen?
now? YOLO, right?
That's right.
All right. Uh,
What do we have next on our list? We made a
we
list.
we skipped we skipped the second one and went to the third one. Oops.
It's okay.
Do you want to make the shout out on our second one, or do you want me to?
You can. I did the introduction, or at least the welcome to the podcast.
All right. So this is our how we met. We are in a group. Shout out to our F1 Baddies group chat on Instagram. Hello, girls. Because y'all better be watching this. And yeah, so I sent a message in the group one day and I was like, I want to start a podcast. And Shelby was like, I've been wanting to start one too. And I was like, fuck it, we ball. So here we are. Oh,
Honestly, literally the rest is history. Girl, we already talked about this. It's
I'm
okay.
so bad at this. Okay. Yeah, no, that's literally how it happened. Uh Honestly, we were supposed to start it in September. Was it September?
We were supposed to start it like, yeah, before I went
Yeah.
to
I
Austin,
think we
well
made the
before.
account for September. Like I think our first post on the account was in September.
Yeah.
So that's awkward.
But we were talking about recording it, I think sometime over the summer, like during summer break.
I think you're no, no, no. It was during the fall break. So
That's
just
right. Yeah.
before, yeah, like post Baku,
I think so, yeah.
I think was when it was.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I the calendar, I'd have to look at the race calendar to see whatever it
Yeah.
was.
I think it
Okay.
was Baku because I think it was Monza, Baku were was a double header. And then there was a 3 week break before Singapore, or was Singapore a triple header?
Singapore, I'm pretty sure it was Singapore, then it was a 3 week break.
Okay.
Because
Then
then we
yeah.
went into the last triple header of the season, I think.
Oh, yes,
Because
yes,
that was the
yes.
Vegas, Qatar, Dubai,
Yeah. Dubai, Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi, my bad.
I do
I
want to
just
go to
realized
Dubai so bad.
I should set us a timer or stopwatch to make sure that we could talk for probably 3 hours if we really tried. And
That's
honestly, I'm
fair.
okay
This
with
is
that,
awkward.
but also we
Cut
do
it.
have a time zone
Cut it, crop
difference.
it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, guys, we are in different time zones. It is 10:13 for me. Holy hell, it's 11:15 for you.
It's 11:13 for me, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I
Okay.
work tomorrow, but
All
I've
right.
also gone to work with like 3 hours of sleep, and I'll be fine. I've worked to 12 with 3 hours of sleep before. That was a rough
I like
day.
my shifts are 8 hours and I get an hour long break that I either eat or nap for. And I literally sit at a desk all day. So I'm at work like this.
Honestly, that's
Like
so bad.
all the
I'm on
time.
my feet all day. So that's a little
Yes, hear
rough,
that.
but I
That was
do
how it
get
was when I was working retail, but when I was working retail, I was only working like 6 hour shifts. So
mine are
that was
normally six
ideal.
hour shifts anyway, and they're split in half between two areas, so I get like an hour break between them, which is nice.
Hmm.
Even though technically I'm not supposed to get a break, but I also just don't go back to work. Well, I have to change between
Happens.
sections, so it makes it harder.
Hmm. Yeah. Do you want to tell them where you work?
I won't tell them where specifically I work, but I work for the Walt Disney Company. I don't speak for the brand or the company. That's a disclaimer I do have to put out there. I love my job, but I do not speak for the brand or the company, nor will I ever.
My favorite fun fact about you.
Yeah, it's a
Um,
lot of fun.
it is. So
Do you
we have one thing
wanna
left. What do you want to do? Favorite moment, least favorite moment, or what?
we could do that.
Or you
Do you
want
wanna
to
go
talk ups and
first?
downs? You want to talk silly season?
Ooh,
Uh,
we could talk about
Should we
where were
just go?
you
Go ahead.
where were you when the Lewis to Ferrari news dropped?
Let me check my messages because I sure I texted somebody about it.
Because I was actually in the middle of Epcot. I was sitting by myself in the China Pavilion, waiting on my friend to come back with food for her because I got food there. So I'm sitting there, sitting by myself. I have no one to tell this to, and I'm just sitting going like this. And the funny thing is I went to bed the night before hearing the rumors that had dropped, saying like rumors of Lewis going to Ferrari. So I saw those
Yeah.
going to bed going, ah, they're not real. And then they were by the next
Yep.
afternoon.
Oh, I know exactly where I was. I was working. I was working, and then probably for about 20 minutes straight, I sat down just like this.
Let me see. I want to find the graphic that had like all the breaking news graphics, and I want to see for the
Yes,
one
yes,
for all
yes.
the drivers. Let me find it on my phone.
Let me as well, so we can have a referral.
Whoever was running the breaking news graphic this year, they made bank.
Literally, I found it.
Oh,
Do you
and
want me
then
to
it
send it to you?
was Gunter. Yeah, I found it too. I forgot about Gunter leaving. If I'm being
Mm.
honest with you, that was so long ago at this point.
That was an off season though, wasn't it?
That was, I feel like that was like right after Christmas. It was between Christmas and New Year's. It wasn't even in
Yeah,
2024, even though it was a part of
yeah,
this season. And then you had
yeah.
Charles and Lando getting their contracts renewed one day to the other.
Back to back.
That was
Oh
so
my
funny to
God.
me.
It was
Like,
just, first of all, it was really unnecessary at first. Also, do we even know till when either one of their contracts is yet?
no, they're not specified. I'm
That's
imagining
what I thought.
2026. I could see it being a situation where they're till 2026 to see when what the new regulations do, and it would give them exit clauses if they really wanted to. But honestly, they bleed orange and red, so there's no way they're leaving either
Yeah.
of those teams. They sold their
Because Lando,
souls.
literally, Lando's contract was already through 2026, I think, right?
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
imagine that they have pretty good hopes. I mean, considering how the end of last year went versus this year went, or the end of 2023 into 2024,
Yeah.
to me that's pretty
Yeah.
good. So I would have put my hopes on there. Although with the way Andrea talks about Lando versus Oscar makes me mad sometimes.
I hate McLaren.
Like
I said what I said and I meant it.
Love
I
Lando and
bleed for,
Oscar.
not orange. I'm sorry, I keep interrupting you. Go ahead.
No, love Lando and Oscar. Do not like McLaren right now. Would I love to work for them? Absolutely. That's like my
It's
dream
actually
team.
ideal.
It is the ideal team. Do I like them right now? No.
No.
As
And I'm
somebody who
really
does
hoping that we can
strategy,
start fresh this year.
the other thing too is I will say last year they were figuring out how to be a front runner team again. So like they did have that handicap. I think going into this year they have learned from a lot of their mistakes.
Hmm.
And I'm hoping that they've learned a lot of from their mistakes. So I'm hoping that we have like a good year this year, especially if the car is a rocket ship.
We need a new strategist, is what we need. I
Yeah,
mean,
we're
is
probably
what
not
they need.
getting one.
I'm trying not to be biased. I'm sucking at it.
Right.
Okay,
So
boom. And then
wait.
there's Lewis.
And then there's Lewis and then Fernando. I forgot that he resigned, if I'm being honest with you.
It's because the Aston Martin boys just keep to themselves, they're not really in the mix.
We like I feel like everybody always knew it was an inevitable. So everyone was like, why say it's not?
Yeah.
And then we had the first Haas exit with Nico Hulkenberg to
That
Sauber.
one hurt. That one hurt.
That one did. I do love them together at Haas, K-Mag
Yes, I
and
love
Hulk.
them. Yeah, I just love them together in general.
I do love them together. So I'm sad to see them go. And then the biggest one to me was the Adrian Newey leaving Red Bull. That
I'm
one
looking
was
at them.
huge.
Because what the hell?
Literally, like I was
And then
not
on top
expecting
of
it.
that, when they announced he was going to Aston Martin, what the hell?
Yes, that was the crazy part to me because I honestly didn't expect it. I expect him to go somewhere like Williams because there was like rumors of that, that he really liked Alex.
I
He could
really
go
thought he was going to
there.
Ferrari. I was
I'll
terrified.
be honest, yeah. Fred has like Fred is working his magic right now. He is doing really well with that team.
Yeah,
And it's
it's
going to be so interesting
terrifying.
to see where they go. Oh, Alex
Okay.
extends with Williams. I forgot about that
I
too.
love Alex. I love Alex so bad. I don't think anybody will ever understand how much I love Alex Albon.
Yeah. Oh, and then the Checo
Mm.
extends with Red Bull only to get his contract. Well, I guess it was a mutual decision, which makes a lot of sense for
Did
both
you know
the
what his
teams.
clauses were?
I do not know.
So
I'm
his
assuming it had
requirements. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I'm assuming it had something to do with performance.
Yeah, so his requirements were he had to be within 100 points of max in the drivers,
Oh dear.
literally, and he had to be within 3 positions in the championship. So he literally was out of those before they dropped Danny Rick.
Yeah, that is true. I
I
forgot
was
about
I
that.
was heated about Daniel, but I guess we'll get there.
No, I was also upset about Daniel.
I cried.
Pierre extends with Alpine. Not surprising. And then you had Lance extended with
Hello,
Alpine.
hello,
Ollie
Daddy D.
signs with Haas, which honestly, good for
Ollie,
him. I'm so excited to see him racing.
I love
Like,
Ollie so
I
bad.
am so excited for that. And then K-Mag leaves Haas. Again, my heart was
My
broken.
heart, yes.
My heart was broken. I will before I'm hoping before like they actually sell out of them and remove them from the website that I can get a K-Mag hat, like a baseball cap, because really I do love
Yeah,
him so much.
same. Especially this season. Oh my God, he was a psychopath. He was
He
so fun
is
to watch in Canada when he went up, what was it, like 16 places in like 3 laps?
Look, I mean this in the nicest way possible and the lovingest way possible, but he is my favorite on-track terrorist.
For sure. No, for
Like,
sure.
he is my favorite. I
I
love
told
him
Avery,
so
my
much.
sister, sorry. I told my sister, I was like, this is you if you were a driver. Like, this would be you for sure.
That would also be me because I could never drive a Formula One car. I have too many anger issues.
And
Yeah.
then, ew, I'm not speaking on the next one.
Nope, me neither.
Sorry, guys, go look it up.
And then Esteban signing with Haas was so surprising to me. I really was not expecting that one
Me either. I didn't
because
think he was going to leave Alpine.
I didn't either. I thought that also he would get, I kind of expected him to get a reserve driver position at Mercedes because I know that supposedly they still manage his career.
Yeah.
Oh, and then the Carlos signing with Williams, that one was crazy. I'm pretty sure I was
I
at
got
work for
so
that
drunk
one.
that night. Like, I got
Really?
plastered that night. Like, plastered. And then I just cried.
That was such an interesting way for them to start summer break, in all honesty, because that was like 2 days into summer break, I think.
Dude, and then the mother plugger decided to not sign with anyone for forever. So we're all watching him thinking this is the last time we're gonna watch him.
Because that would have been what? That was in January was Lewis was announced. I think that was January. And
Yeah.
then it was either the end of January, beginning of February. And then summer break was
It was
the beginning
February
of
1st.
August.
It was
It was
it was February 1st.
February. Yes, that's right. February 1st, all the way to the like 3 days into August. 3 or 4, I
Literally.
think it was 4 days into August.
For over half a year, he wasn't signed with anyone.
Yep. That was the most stressful time of my life.
Literally. I was
All
like,
right.
oh.
And then we had the team principals moving the team principal
Mhm,
change at
mhm.
Alpine. And then we had the Audi team principal. And then Jack Doohan signs for Alpine. It made me so happy. I was so excited for him.
Do not talk about the next one. My heart.
And then we
My
had
American heart.
the Logan Sargent
Oh,
removal from Williams and Franco getting his seat, which
love Franco.
I posted a video on like my personal TikTok of my little brother who told me he listened to the national anthem for like 10 minutes straight when he learned that Logan got dropped. No joke. I also have a video of him saluting and saying, we've just lost, America's just lost her best soldier or something like that.
Literally.
He is so dramatic.
That was me.
Yeah.
Kimmy, oh
Right?
my God, holy hell. Kimmy got announced the the week after Monza.
Yeah.
And
No,
and
it was at Monza because it was overnight for everybody in America because it's the European time zone
okay,
difference.
yep, you're right. It was qualifying day because he drove an
Yeah.
FP1. He drove an FP1 and put the car into the wall. So
Car into the wall.
I woke up to that in Italy. Okay. Imagine you're waking up to go watch qualifying and you see that this child just signed with Mercedes after he just, first of all, I watched him drive that car into the wall with my own eyes. Like I literally saw it.
Yeah.
So after I saw this, I'm like, oh, because they've been talking like, oh, this is the week that Kimmy's gonna get announced, blah, blah. So I saw it and I was like, oh man, there goes his seat. Nope, hell no. It's right there.
No. And the thing too is like realistically that was a mistake of somebody who'd never set foot in an F1 car. He sent it with the way he handles an F2 car, I imagine, and they're very different handling, but also
And
it was
also,
really so surprising. I still
yeah,
don't
but
really
even
think he was
that
ready
week,
though.
and that week he said, because they asked him about it, they were like, so are you gonna be in F1 next year, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready to be there yet. And they still signed him.
They did. I really was not expecting him to get that just because
He's
I felt like
so
he was too
young.
young. I'm
Yeah.
really worried about him there being a lot of pressure on him to perform well and then him getting dropped halfway through the season because he won't be able to meet those expectations because I just don't think he spent enough time in the lower series.
Yeah.
I understand why they've had drivers skip F3 or F2 like in the Max situation, but I think they do need that experience in the lower series to not only get a feel for the way the car has evolved, but also the way the media and attention evolves.
Yeah.
Because Kimmy is 18.
Yeah, like he's a child.
He is.
And I say that as a 21-year-old who also is a child.
No, same. Same.
Like
Yeah.
it's just a lot. I couldn't imagine all that.
No, I could
Especially
not either.
as imagine you're 18 and you're replacing the best Formula One driver almost
Yeah.
arguably ever. Like
That is
that's a lot.
that's a lot of pressure to fill that type of seat.
Yeah, that's not gonna be cool.
Yeah, no. Um,
I can't wait to support him, but
no, I'm excited to support him too, but I'm worried for him. I hope that
yeah,
he can
same.
make it through
Same.
and that he can make it a full season. I'm worried that
Hmm.
they could potentially drop him early.
Yeah. Toto loves him though, so I hope that
No,
that
yeah,
helps.
that is true.
Hopefully it helps.
All right. So it looks like the next thing we have is the Adrian Newey to Aston Martin, which
We already
I
talked
do
about that.
think
Oops.
we did talk about that, but I do think it's fully just a money thing.
Oh, for sure. Hello.
I do think that he was offered a big paycheck and that's why he went there.
Yeah. What? No.
But honestly, I would too. So
For that check, for sure.
if that
Up
would set me for
next.
life. Up next, for this one, I was standing in the line for the Haunted Mansion at Magic Kingdom. I was standing with my mom and my mom's best friend and her best friend's husband, who know nothing about racing, and I had to stand there and be normal about it. And I was like, guys, one of the drivers who got me into this just
I'm trying to see. I don't
no,
know
I
where I
was
was. What day was that?
that was I don't even it was like a
Day.
week after Singapore, I think.
Yeah.
It was like ridiculous. Everybody knew it was
Literally, no.
coming.
Well, it's because in Singapore they gave that long speech, like when he was done. Because also BS Singapore, and they cheated because Danny Rick shouldn't have got the fastest lap, but that's a different conversation for a different day.
Yeah.
Um, when they were like, "Thank you for everything," blah 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 blah. Like
The way
I
Red Bull
knew
handled every single driver exit this year has been terrible.
so bad.
It's just, to me,
Also,
they've been so disrespectful.
can we talk about Liam going to Red Bull and not Yuki?
Okay, so here's the thing. The thing about that is, well, yes, I'm upset for Yuki, but realistically, the second Red Bull seat is a killer, career killer.
That's fair.
Because until Max
Especially,
retires, they're not safe. And you know what? I
yeah,
get it. Max is a phenomenal driver. He should be their
yeah,
number one priority, but it sucks that it's been at the expense of the second driver.
yeah. What's next on the
Um,
list?
I think they should have pulled a more experienced driver to drive in the second seat, but I also understand pulling in a rookie because he doesn't have the expectation
Hmm.
of, say, somebody who's already experienced. He hopefully knows going in that he's not.
Yeah.
So I guess the
But
next thing
also
we had after
he's a diva.
he is
Liam
the
Lawson is like drama and he's a
you know what? I hope that it's just first time jitters. I'm hoping that this doesn't continue because I want to root for him because I want to root for all the rookies. If I'm being honest, these are my first rookies since I've become a fan, and I'm excited
Mhm.
for them. Other than Franco, he'll always be my baby. But
Yeah, facts.
these are like my first rookies, so I'm nervous for them, but I want to root for all of them.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next thing I think we have for the next graphic is Valtteri and Joe leaving.
That was wicked.
That was the double announcement was crazy. Like
Insane.
we knew at least one of them were going, but to announce that both of them were leaving
At the
was
same
crazy
time. Like within like 10
at the
minutes of
same
each other.
time. No, like I think actually they announced it in the same post. I'm pretty
Was it
sure
the
it
same
was
post?
they announced it in the same post.
That's foul.
It really was. It was
That is
so
so bad.
foul.
That's so
And
bad.
then you had Gabriel getting
Also,
signed.
can I just
I'm
make
so
a
excited.
disclaimer real quick? My hair doesn't always look like this, guys. I was gonna do it, but then I just got busy. Okay.
Yeah, my hair currently isn't washed. It is wash day, so she's getting washed before bed, but she's not washed.
Not watched yet.
Um, right, next we had was Gabriel signing with Sauber, which I guess are they Audi in 2026 or 2025?
2026, I think.
Okay. Because I couldn't remember either. And then okay, Esteban, I may not always like him, but him getting dropped for the last race of the season pissed me off.
Bullshit.
Like it made me so mad. I was pissed after that.
Literally.
Because, like, from one side, yes, I understand. He was not performing well. He was losing the team points, but it was one frickin' race. They had already
Yeah, and
secured their spot against Haas. They were not losing their spot against Haas. They were fine.
yeah.
Why drop him? Let him finish out his time with the team. Have your end of season with your double French drivers, okay? Your last year, because I think this is the last year they're going to be held by Alpine anyway, because the French government's getting rid of them. Because currently the team is owned by the French government, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a whole bunch
So,
of BS.
yeah. And then Jack coming into race for the last race. Poor guy was thrown into the trenches.
Literally. It's giving Ollie in Saudi Arabia.
Giving Audi or Ollie in Saudi Arabia, and then Liam thrown in at Singapore, or no, not Singapore, Zandvoort for his first
Hmm.
race last or in
Yeah.
2023.
Hmm. I knew what you meant, girly.
I had to make sure that I knew what I meant. And then we had the Checo getting dropped.
I'm Checo's biggest hater, so
I also really don't like him that much, if I'm being honest. Um, it's just the way he comes off for some reason, but he also just kind of comes off as a big, like
well, he
he
also got
reminds
caught
me,
cheating on his girlfriend. I mean, on his wife.
yeah, that was also the big thing for me too. He just comes off as like a really dumb dog, just a little. Like, and again,
Literally.
I understand that a lot of people love him, and it's really cool that he made it to Formula One at all, just because it's so hard to get it from,
Yeah.
honestly, any from North America and like the Americas at all. It's so hard to make it to F1
Yeah.
if you're not from Brazil, just because they have such a rich heritage there. Like, it's
Hmm.
amazing that he made it there, but I don't know if he did the
But
best that he could.
he should have been gone a while ago.
Yeah. And again, I'm also new to this, so I don't have as much like the experience going through as a lot of people do. Liam Lawson getting signed with Red Bull, I'm still not in agreement of that decision. I think they should have put somebody else there.
Yeah.
I could understand bringing in the rookie and having build the expectation of,
Of
um,
like a future first driver.
yeah,
Yeah.
or because unless Max is planning to retire in the next couple of years, I could see why they would bring him in to help him build up with the team and build that camaraderie to maybe take
Hmm.
over as number one driver. But I don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know if Max is retiring or not. Valtteri signing as Mercedes reserve, I'm kind of surprised by. Actually, no, I'm not surprised by. I
I was
was
gonna say I'm
expecting
not
it.
at all. I wasn't expecting it, but it also doesn't. Are we twins? But it also doesn't surprise me.
We are twins, actually. I'm also sorry if my coughing messed up the audio so much. We're gonna see what it sounds like in post.
Sounds fine. It sounds fine on
Um,
my end, at least.
yeah. Okay, so Isaac Hadjar getting signed, everybody knew it was coming ahead of time because apparently in an F2 post-race interview, they were asking questions and he was talking like he'd already gotten signed.
Uh-huh.
So clearly he knew way back then, and I think that was like 2 or 3 races before Abu Dhabi.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't remember which one it was.
I think it was early November
I think it, well,
was
I'm
when
trying
they
to
were
remember
talking
what the
about
calendar is because they don't race in Singapore. They don't race in any of the Americas races.
it. I can check.
It was either, do they race in Qatar? They don't race in
Yes.
Vegas. It might have been Qatar if they race there. Let me see. Because it
Yeah.
wasn't the Abu Dhabi race. It was whatever was before that one. I need the
Yeah,
F2
it's
calendar.
Qatar because they race Baku and then they don't race again until Qatar.
Okay, so
So
it
yeah.
must have been Qatar. It was, because I don't think it was Baku. I feel like that was way too before. Like that was
Yeah,
too
that's
far
very
ago.
early.
Unless they already knew they were going to make
Well,
this decisions.
yeah, but in Baku they hadn't dropped Checo or signed Liam yet, so there's no way it was Baku.
No, because by Baku they hadn't dropped Danny yet. He was still racing.
Baku was Danny's first race gone, I think.
No,
Wasn't it?
no, his first race gone was Vegas. No,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, you're right.
his first race gone was Austin
Oh, yes, sorry. I
because
saw USA and I thought Vegas.
no,
But yeah,
I also forgot the order of the races. No, because Singapore was before the America's triple header.
yeah. So it was Singapore, Coda, Mexico, Brazil, Vegas, then Qatar.
There's something in the middle there, I thought, or was it triple header, triple? No, it was triple header because there was that 2 or 3 week break in the middle between the
Yeah,
two.
which was also bullshit, by the way. What
I
the
mean,
hell was the
I
schedule
can,
this season?
okay, I feel like they're trying to make it so that the crews at least are not traveling as much
Hmm.
because they have to be there a lot earlier than say the drivers. The drivers show up on media day. That's when they have to be there.
Yeah.
I think it was their way of trying to make it better for the crews, and I don't think it actually did. Their
It's like that
schedule
next season too. Next season's weird. There's a lot of race next season.
there's so many better ways they could do the schedule. I think they should knock out the Americas all at once. Any of the American races, they
Because
should
why
knock them
is
out at
Miami in
once.
May and Coda in October?
That's such a great question. I wonder the same thing.
I'm like, hello, what are we doing?
It's, it doesn't make any sense.
Oh, I forget that
I know that
Australia is
some of
just
the
such.
races they have to work around the weather schedules in those countries, but I feel like they could do it in a way that makes more sense travel wise. You
Yeah,
know, like
for
the
sure.
amount of traveling that they have to do, especially the last from going from Vegas to Qatar to Abu Dhabi in 3 weeks is insane.
Well, also, because what is
Which one
because
is it?
they go Coda, Mexico, Brazil, and then they have 2 weeks between before they're back in Vegas. Like
Yeah, that's
those, they
true.
could knock those four out together.
Honestly, I think they should have. I think that'd be better. Obviously, well, yes, they do the 4 or do it a week between Brazil and Vegas just
Yeah,
to give them a little bit of time to get back up because I don't know for sure, but I think they might drive everything da up and down. I don't think it's
yeah,
flown between those three.
uh-huh.
I think it's all
Coda and
it's
Vegas should
driven.
for sure be back to back.
I agree. It should be Miami, Coda, Vegas. As you follow the races up, and then they could go up and do Canada. Or they can do Miami, Canada, Austin, Vegas,
Mhm.
and then go do Mexico and Brazil as a double.
I just also feel like that's so much traveling, you can't even enjoy it.
No, it honestly is so much traveling. From like the few people that I follow that are work for teams that are not like mechanics, it seems like they don't go to every single race. They have like a rotating crew for
Mhm.
some of the
And
stuff,
that
especially
makes
for
sense.
media. That makes a lot of sense. I understand for like mechanics and that type of thing, you have to have them in every single race. That makes sense. But for everybody else to rotate, that also makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That seems like the proper way to do it.
Oh no. Personally, if I could make the calendar, I would put a race in Houston right outside my house.
No, I would put it
Podium.
in my backyard,
Podium in my
actually.
bedroom. I just think it'd be easy.
I think it would be too. They can do
Sounds
you do
cheap.
the you hold the cool down room episodes, actually. You hold Max's podcast. You are co-host for the day.
Period. I can do that. I'll host media day also in my bedroom.
Yeah. Okay. What
McLaren
was your favorite
Garage.
race?
My favorite race. Oh, my favorite race of this year?
Yeah, this past
Mm,
season.
mm. Okay. I feel like you and I just talked about this earlier this week, but Miami literally changed my life. But that was just because Lando's first win, obviously.
Yeah.
But if I'm not going based off of Lando's first win, I would probably say Singapore.
That one was
Singapore
really good.
was magic. Like,
That one was a really good race. That one was a fun for me because it was like a full circle moment because that was the first race I'd ever watched, coming in
oh
and
yeah,
getting to
I didn't
watch
even think
Lando
about
watch
that.
it. Yeah, that one was a good one. I honestly think Miami still might be my favorite just because that was my first in-person race after thinking when I got into this, my mindset was it's so expensive I will never go to an in-person race.
I didn't even say Monza. Oops.
That's okay.
Monza was up there for me. Don't get me wrong. It was just really hot.
Yeah. Um, no, I definitely probably Miami because the funny thing was too is like the whole weekend, and one of the main reasons I wanted to go to Miami wasn't even for the actual F1 race. I wanted to go for the F1 Academy races. That's
Hmm.
what I cared about more than anything. And it was really fun getting like on Sunday they had the second F1 Academy race. We watch it. They do the podium on the actual podium. We're staying there all day.
Hmm.
And we watch Abby win and they play the British anthem because she is. I actually didn't know that. I'll be honest, I didn't. It's kind of embarrassing to having been there for F1 Academy and not realize the nationality of the drivers. I'm kind of embarrassed about that, but I'm doing better. Um,
I don't know everyone's, if it makes you
no,
feel any better.
I only know Abby's because I watched her win. I know
I don't know
Abby's,
any
I
of the
know
girls.
Bianca's, I know Chloe's, because Chloe's American. Um, I'm not going to try to pronounce anything because I'm really bad and I embarrass myself.
I don't even know any of the F1 Academy girls.
I
I know
only
Bianca,
know,
but that's because of McLaren
yeah.
PR.
I know Leia, she is she was the Williams driver for F1 Academy. She's American too. Her dad is a not rally, something driver. And she did it too. She became the youngest champion of what it was that he raced in as well. So she did that. I want to say it's rally, but I cannot remember, but she's the youngest ever champion of that. There were a couple others that I did know. Dorian, just because she was originally shaping up, everybody was like, oh, she's going to be the F1 Academy Max Verstappen. She did not. She came in second.
That's
Um,
funny.
No, it was because for Abby, they played the British national anthem, and we're standing there, going, "Oh, let's pretend this is the F1 race because we're gonna hear the Dutch anthem
God save the
later."
king.
Yeah, we're like, "Oh, we're gonna hear the Dutch anthem later," and then like the race happened, and I cannot fully explain the way Miami felt and standing there and hearing everybody around, like everybody's getting excited. I don't think there was a single person in the crowd who was not excited for Orlando.
Oh,
Not a single
I
person.
can only imagine. Like I know how it felt from my bedroom. I could not imagine what it felt like being there.
No, and like there were people that are going, "Don't say anything. Don't say anything. We'll jinx it. We'll jinx it." And, like everybody is like it was almost a calm, collective. We were all excited, but also
Silence,
we
just
were
like a
like, no, we were all every time the second went up though of like his gap, everybody got cheered just a little and then it got quiet. And I don't know if it actually picked up on the broadcast or not. I never actually went. I told myself I was going to go back and watch it for the commentary. Never did.
oh my God. You never watched it for the commentary?
No, I never did. I told
Okay.
myself I was going to go back. Like I heard clips of it and I watched bits of it. So I watched like the race and review or whatever on YouTube. So I had all that. But the entire crowd was chanting for Orlando when he was on the podium. And again, I don't know if you can hear it on the broadcast, but we were all chanting. And mind you, people had got on track at that point, but it was everybody that was on the other side that was where they were supposed to
Mm,
be. Um,
yeah. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I cry every time I watch it.
no, I get emotional every time I think about it. I was making my end of year video and was trying to find footage from it and rewatching all the footage I took that was like my first time going to a race and figuring out what I wanted to do. So it's all terrible footage, but like it
Uh-huh.
made me emotional and like so excited and happy because I was like, oh my gosh, I was there for that, guys. And it
Hmm.
brought me back to some of that emotion. And I might have cried making that video, if I'm honest with you.
Happens. No, yeah. I watched Miami probably 20 times. At least. Like
I
at least 20 times.
I am so bad about going back and rewatching races. I tell myself every single time that I'm going to, and then I never do. It's kind of embarrassing.
It's because that was my, oh, I'm having a bad day. Like, I'm gonna put something on the TV.
Yeah.
Until Singapore. Because now it's Singapore.
That,
I want to go back and rewatch Abu Dhabi. I've only seen it once. I only watched it when it happened.
yeah, me too.
But I do want to go back and rewatch that. I also have only watched Xanadu once, and that was when it happened.
So that one was actually the day before my birthday, and I was saying that it was a birthday gift to me. That's literally what I said for the rest of the day. And especially after we got the shirtless pic right after, I was like, ah, thanks. It's the best birthday gift.
Yeah.
I was like, guys, it was no.
Oh,
That one was a lot of fun to watch.
I
That
just
one
realized that
was.
we didn't say did we say what teams we support? Because I don't think
No,
we
but
did.
I think it's pretty obvious
I
between
was
what I'm
gonna
wearing and
say
what
I
you're
think we
wearing.
missed something.
No, I'm also a Maxi fan on top of a Lando fan, so I was in the trenches all year. It was rough. I could not keep defending Max after a certain point. You know what? I will take the L on that. But at least one of my
Hold
drivers
it.
won the
Just
world
hold it.
championship, okay? That's
That's
what I choose
cheating.
to
You're
do.
cheating. One of yours plays first and one of yours plays second. That's cheating. I'm a
Um,
four girly through and through, through and through.
No, it was for me it was a mix of like the McLaren partnerships is what got me into the sport. I think it was a video of Lando and Danny laughing about something. Is like the one because I got into it not so much for the on-track racing, but more for the camaraderie between the drivers because that's what I get caught on
Hmm.
things for. Is like
Yeah.
with TV shows and stuff, the relationships the actors have, that's what gets me.
Yeah, so this is actually a really funny story, and I don't know why I didn't think about this when we talked about how I got into F1. I I got into watching Drive to Survive, and I thought Danny Rick was hilarious. And then I think like the first or second episode of the first season is the Aston Martin episode, and
Yeah,
I fell in love with Lance Stroll. And then fast forward,
really.
fast like in love, like head over heels. He was the most gorgeous man I'd ever seen in my life at this point. And then fast forward, boom. Then I saw Charles, and my life changed. I was like, oh my God, there's no way that this guy is real like this. I've never seen a man like this in my life.
Yeah, honestly,
And
fair
then I
assessment.
saw Lando, and then it was game over. I was like, I don't care about it anymore.
Yeah. Honestly, and also the change in like his appearance and just him as a person, I feel like his confidence seems to have changed between 2022, 2023, and 2024. It is
What are you
night
talking
and
about?
day between
Lando?
those 3 years. Yeah, Lando.
Yeah.
like his confidence, his personality, I feel like that
Well, I mean, and
I feel like
also
he's grown into it more.
if you go further back, it's like between like the Twitch streams and like all the quadrant stuff.
Yeah,
It's almost as if like he's just grown up. Like
he has,
he's not a
honestly.
21-year-old boy anymore,
No. I mean, at the end of the
and
day, he
that's
is still
okay.
a boy. I've seen some of like his Twitch streams that he's done with Max Futrell, whenever they're yelling at each other and they're
Oh, I
playing.
watched every one of Max Futrell streams. I am a Max Futrell fan. I
Oh my God.
fucking love Max Futrell.
I don't know if you saw, but him and Pietra, they're at Disney
I
right
did
now.
see this. I saw y'all talking about it in the group.
Yeah, I was like, the one day I'm not working,
That's
they're
so
there.
foul.
I'm
So
hoping that
foul.
they're still there tomorrow and they go to where I work. That would be nice. Because
Hmm.
obviously I can't directly interact with them. We're not allowed to. But like just getting to see him, I'd be like, ah, guys.
You're not?
No, we're not allowed to.
That's miserable. They told me so Liam Payne came into a restaurant I worked at one time. Um, and they told me like on the radio, they're like, there's a member from One Direction here, blah, 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 blah. And so I walked right past the host stand. I was hosting at the time. I walked past the host stand to the bathroom, bawling my eyes out. And then I walked out of the bathroom. My manager was standing right outside the bathroom waiting for me. And he goes, you can't say anything to him. You're not allowed to approach him.
Yeah, no.
I was like, what? He was like, we'll have to fire you if you do. And I was like, you're gonna have to fire me.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't walking away from that one. And I'm really glad I didn't, considering, what happened now. But I have
Yeah.
a picture with him. And then I walked back in. Well, I walked out to take my picture with him. And I walked back in. They were like, oh, well, you can talk to him if it's outside the restaurant. And I was like, well,
That
why'd
is
you have
so
to think I was about to
funny.
lose my job? Like,
That's
because why would they just say
crazy.
that? They
That's
could be like,
crazy.
just wait till
No.
he leaves.
Yeah, no. Ours, you can lose your job and we're not supposed, well, I don't know if you can lose your job, but we're supposed to make them feel like everybody else. So that like, yes, they're special, but special the same way everyone else is.
Yeah.
Especially because a lot of celebrities will come with their kids, so I understand why they don't want us bonding over
Yeah.
them. Because I've seen quite a few people that have come through since I've worked there. That
Actually,
honestly, I'm a little desensitized to it. Funny enough, like it's gotten to the point where I've seen, like I have seen, but I've also been there when they've
name
come
drop,
through, even if I've not seen
name
them.
drop.
The most recent one was I was across from Jensen Ackles. I didn't get to directly interact with him, but I got to see him. He was there with his wife and kids and some friends. So like I'm glad that they were able to just be normal
You got to
in
see
there.
Dean Winchester and Rachel Katina.
Yeah, I did. Um, I will say though, where I work, it's pretty dark. So like I could see him, but I couldn't, you know?
Is he as handsome in person as he is?
Yeah.
You're better than me. You're better than me. I'd have jumped over everything. I'd be like, excuse me.
No, it's so funny. Literally everybody in the it was like everybody was yelling about it too because apparently somebody had seen him in the park earlier. They had been there earlier in the day and had seen him. Like everybody else was going crazy about it, and I was like, "This is really funny." But I also was like, "I'm moving on." I was like,
I feel
"I
like
have a job to do."
yeah, I would never be able to like get used to it like that.
No,
Now I'm
it's kind of
intrigued. You're
weird.
gonna have to text me and tell me who all you've seen.
Yeah, I will later. Um, no, that one was fun. I will say though, getting to see the drivers, I'm desensitized to regular celebrities, but seeing the drivers in the fan form in Austin, because they don't have one in Miami. So that was my first time up close and personal with them. Well, up close and personal.
Yeah.
But like it was so crazy the difference there between like they was so cool to see them in person. Because
Oh
I
yeah.
I did all of the team fan form appearances. I went
I
to see all
didn't.
of them, and we were pretty close to the stage for all of them. Well, there wasn't much for us to do.
Oh, I spent a lot of money. So like I made sure I was there for McLaren, obviously.
Hmm.
And McLaren went up with Sauber that race.
Well, we'd have to look. I'm sure we
Yeah.
can find it. They
I
put
have
them
it in my
with
pictures
Williams a
somewhere.
lot.
I'm trying to think because
Yeah.
I thought Williams came out with
Honestly, it's so long ago at this point. It feels like forever ago, and it
yeah, I have
really
no
was only
idea.
two, six, actually, it was almost 6 months ago at this point.
Yeah.
Um, No, that one, because we went and saw all of them. Well, I was in Austin by myself, which was nice, so I could come and go and do what I wanted.
It was Sauber.
Because like I met people in Austin, but I was pretty much by myself the whole time, so I could pretty much do what I wanted. I didn't like have to wait on people or that type of thing.
Yeah.
And they had the Porsche Carrera Cup in both Miami and Austin. And first of all, in Miami, they were so freaking loud. I would go and sit up in the stadium when they were on track just to dim the noise. This year, I'm gonna have earplugs because it was so loud. In Miami, it was so bad. When I tell you it echoed, you could hear it outside the track, like
Oh,
several streets
bugger.
over. It was so bad.
I'm sure.
No, I'm gonna have headphones next year, and they had them both. But while that was happening, because that would happen in Austin whenever they weren't on track with F1. They'd be racing that. They
Uh-huh.
had a couple of historic races, and I know there are people who love to watch that stuff, and that's totally valid. That just wasn't up my alley.
Yeah, I feel
I
you.
wanted to go see the boys at the stage. I wanted to go
Yeah.
see them at the fan form stage because like we got to see that. I think we saw I want to say Ollie came out with Haas at one point. We went to
Oh,
see
that's so
I think I went to go see Jack because he came out and did something with somebody else. Um
I
that
don't
was
think I
really
saw any of
cool.
the rookies.
No. Well, here's the thing.
Or, I mean, any F2.
It is kind of embarrassing, but the way that they leave is you can get up to pretty much like the way they drive out. You can get out there and stand there. And we did both them coming in the morning of the race and leaving the night before.
Really?
Yeah, like you can see most of them coming and going. I saw almost the entire grid coming and leaving. The only ones I didn't see, I think, were the Papaya boys and the Ferrari boys,
That's
and
so
maybe
unlucky.
Max.
They and
I'm
they all
so
probably took a different way out just because of who they are.
no, they I think they only have one way in and out of the paddock.
Really?
No, also the funny thing was Ollie left and came on foot on race day. He came in on foot that morning and left on foot that night. It was
That
so
is so
funny.
cute. I love
Um,
Ollie so much.
I will say though, I did sprain my ankle at Coda
I do
trying to get
remember you
on
telling me
stage for the
this.
track walk or get on
Yes.
track for the track walk, which I'm still mad about that. Because I also might have fractured it, though I never actually checked. I just was like, well, it's sprained. Um, so I had that happen, and I knew that because I didn't park on site, I parked off site because it was cheaper. It was like
Yeah.
$400 to park on site. And I said, I'm
I
not
saw
doing
that.
that.
That's crazy.
No, it was so freaking expensive. I said, I'm parking off site. It's cheaper. The trams run. I'm good. Well, the last bus back to the parking lot, I didn't know how late they were running because they never specified where anywhere, which kind of pissed me off. They said until the music stops. It was not clear when the music stopped. Um,
What music were they talking about?
no, I don't know. That's the thing because they run concerts Friday, Saturday, and I think Sunday night too.
Yeah.
And so I sprained my ankle and I was staying there for a while. I left the exit right before Lando left. Like 10 minutes, maybe. I missed him by like 10 minutes.
I
I
remember
was
you saying this.
pissed. I was like,
Yeah.
and I could have afforded the Uber to leave. Like if I hadn't, but I also knew that I was already hurting and I was like, I just want to go home.
Yeah.
Because that was rough getting out of there that day. And I was also finishing a paper. I had a paper that was due that night, and I said, I am going home and going to bed, so I'm finishing this here, and then I am leaving.
Yeah. That is brutal.
No, because I stayed
Oh my
at
God. I
track.
would probably cry forever.
No, I stayed at track until they were shooing everybody off site. Because they were trying to get everybody out of there, which I understood made sense. Next year, I'd probably stay late enough to see everybody leave and just Uber back to my car wherever I'm parked, whether that's on site or not this year.
Yeah.
Just because I do want to like wave to them and be pretty cool. Because like the girls that I ended up hanging out with on Sunday in Austin, they stayed long enough to see him go. Because in the video that he posted on his story, I could make them out in that video. Um, so
That
I
is so
knew,
special.
yeah, I could have stayed and seen them. I didn't. I could have. I'm glad I didn't because I was already pretty sore. I was still
Yeah,
sad about it, but also I was like, I would not have made it the rest of the way.
yeah,
Um, so like I'm glad, but I'm also not.
yeah. That's how it goes normally.
Yeah.
I miss seeing the Ferrari boys in Monza for the fan stage
Yeah.
just because I didn't want to wake up that early the next day.
No, that's so fair.
Friday was McLaren's fan zone day, and I we left at like 7:30. Got to the track at 8, got in and everything at like 9, and then we sat there until I think they came out at like 12:30. So I literally
Well,
just sat there for 3.5 hours.
yeah, well, the thing in Austin is that Friday morning they had at Quad Lock booth they had a Q and A with Oscar. So I sat and waited for that.
Hmm.
And then Friday morning they announced the fan forum times. So when we showed up, because I think it was Williams first, there was almost nobody there, and then it was McLaren, and there still wasn't that big of a group. Because
Oh,
the
I'm
fan
jealous.
forum
It was
times got
insane.
announced that morning. They were literally being displayed on like the stage. That's the only way anybody knew what time anything was.
Y'all didn't check like you didn't
It
check
was
like the
not
Coda app?
posted anywhere.
Even on the Coda app?
No, it wasn't. Everybody kept checking. They never posted on the app. It was
That's foul
crazy. It really was. I don't understand why they did that. It just doesn't make sense.
at all.
Unless they were trying to curb where everybody was coming in that day. Like, I just don't know. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, because the the fan zone schedule for Monza came out, I want to say the Monday of race week.
See, that makes sense. Give people
Yeah.
time. I will say the Friday in Austin was also the Lando Lawn day. So that one was on Friday. That one I did
Yeah.
not stay the full day for, just because I was hanging out with somebody else. So I watched all of Friday practice. I think it was practice. No, that was sprint qualifying on
Yeah.
Friday. That was
Because
practice and
Coda
sprint
was
qualifying.
sprint.
I watched practice with Lando Lawn and then watched sprint qualifying from the S curve. No, not the S curve. The chicane. I watched it from there, I think is what it was. I don't know. It's one of them. I watched it from somewhere. I'd have to actually look up what the track part was.
Yeah.
Because I watched that there, and then I watched the sprint from turn one, I think. I watched the sprint and qualifying from turn one, I think. I didn't get as many track views as I wanted. I wanted to kind of explore over the first 2 days, but it is so much walking that you're not expecting. Because like getting up and down
Also,
turn one,
it's a lot easier walking in because of all the adrenaline. Walking out after
oh,
everything's over.
I have a
Oh my
video
God.
of me and one of my friends leaving on Friday. I think it is of us finally making, oh no, your video,
I'm here.
of us finally making it to the gate afterwards. And
I
like
think I
we
broke my
were
camera.
exhausted finally making it to the exit gate at the very end on Friday. And like the buses were running super late that day because I think they had the Eminem concert that day.
Hmm.
I think it was either, I don't
Saturday?
remember which day it was. I don't know which day it was. Was it Saturday?
I think Saturday was Sting and Sunday was
No.
Eminem.
No, it was Saturday was Eminem
And
because
Friday
people
was Sting.
bought tickets to, yeah, because people bought tickets to Saturday of Coda just to go see Eminem.
My mom wanted to do that.
Yeah. Because Saturday definitely was a lot busier than Friday was. My favorite thing from the fan stage at Austin was, first of all, getting to watch George kick the football. That was really funny.
Mhm.
Watching that, and then I think it was we sang Charles Happy Birthday. That one was fun because
Aw.
his birthday had been like the Sunday or Monday prior.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was like right before.
I'm trying to remember. I don't even remember the fan zones. I really couldn't tell you much about Monza.
I only
It was
remember
kind
the
of like an out of
football.
body experience.
No, I would only remember some of this because I was going through the videos recently. Like that's the only reason I remember a lot of it
Hmm.
because I just started going through the videos again.
I don't know. Can we talk about how the only liquor they serve is Heineken, please? That is so annoying.
No, it is. I wasn't 21. I was 21 in Austin, but I didn't drink just because I had to drive home every day and I didn't have a very high tolerance at that point.
Hmm.
Because I'd been working so often, it was like I don't have time to do anything but work in the preparation leading up to Austin. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Um,
because why was it 8 in the morning and I was drinking a Heineken? Ew.
yeah. No, I wish they had better
Yeah.
alcohol.
I did have my fair share of Heinekens though, so I guess I can't really complain.
No, that's so fair. Okay,
I've
apparently we've
just
been
been
talking for a straight
scribbling.
hour, by the way.
Look, I've just been
Honestly, I love
scribbling.
that for you. Apparently we've been talking for a straight hour, which is
Already?
actually impressive. Yeah, probably close to like right around an hour. 'Cause I
Look at
started
that.
I started this stopwatch a little after our introductions.
Mm-hmm.
So, do we want to end it here? Because
How
it's
does this?
midnight for me.
Oh yeah. Damn, I keep forgetting about the time zone. Yeah.
Yeah, that
So
was our first episode.
that was it. How
I
do you
think
say
we
bye?
should
Bye.
just
See y'all soon.